Monday night, and we are live once again at In the Zone Racing tonight. The Icebreaker 200 presented by SD Ireland Cancer Research Fund here at Myrtle Beach Speedway on iRacing, a 200 lapper tomorrow night. But first, we have to set the field, and that means we are going to head into a 2-minute or 3-minute 2-lap qualifying session. I'm Jeff By Jr., joined by Bill Tomer. And Bill, it's been a while since we've been on the air. We've kind of had this off season here from the late model shootout series, and now we go back at it tonight, and not a lot of time to get into the groove here. We're going straight into the racing action.
Yeah, Jeff, it is the Icebreaker 200, our big event here in the Zone Racing, and we have cars on the racetrack for qualifying. It's just going to be like our late model shootout series and late model challenger series events. They get 3 minutes to put up their best two.
Our qualifying session getting set to go. Didn't hear Bill there, but hopefully he'll be with us here any second.
Track at the moment. He circulates his 2 laps.
The board 18.566, and remember, these guys are racing for a $25 pull award from the International Sim Racers Association. So Thomas Axum trying to pick up that $25 bonus. He goes 18.566, fast time so far.
Sorry about the audio difficulty, Jeff. My apologies.
No problem. Glad to have you with us.
Max Cookson out on the racetrack in the 39 machine.
Landon Huffman currently sitting second. Dalton Collins, Trevor Edwards goes 4th fastest, and now he gets bumped. Trayton Lapsevich, 3rd fastest, 18.597 for Trayton.
So we bounce around through the cars, Jeff, as we're trying to find cars on the racetrack, as these guys all qualifying at the same time, just like our late model shootout series and late model challenger series races. You see Sean Hayes out there in the number 1 machine. Cade Brown, he's out there in the 99. Jason Warren is actually on the racetrack, but not driving. Blaze Brinkley, see him backing in the wall into turn 1. That might be a problem for the number 11 car. Brett Suggs currently on the racetrack in the 33.
Time is running out. Just about 10 seconds left here in this session. We haven't seen Alex McCollum take to the track, and he was going to be a guy I thought might have a chance of that $25 award. Doesn't look like he's going to get a lap.
Looks like some guys ran out of time. Looks that unfortunate for some of those drivers. Looks like top on the board, I believe it was Thomas Axum in that 13 machine.
Thomas Axum going to pick up a $25 bonus courtesy of the International Short Track Association. We appreciate them sponsoring tonight's pull award, and then we'll see Thomas Axum tomorrow night.
Yeah, so your top 10 drivers going straight to the A main tomorrow night. So those top 10 guys, Jeff, are you able to give us a rundown on that top 10?
Yeah, it was Thomas Axum, Landon Huffman, Max J. Cookson, Trayton Lapsevich, Dalton Collins, Trevor Edwards, Josh Cottle, Josh Warren, Caden Fisher, and Corey Bigley. Your top 10, they are done for the evening, and we will see them tomorrow night. The rest of these guys, they've got to race for their position now.
So your first heat race will have 3. Is it? I believe it's split into 3 heat races, Jeff, or is it? It looks like 2 heat races.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna move this down to 3 heats. So we're going to take 6 cars from each of these heats.
So starting on your pole, we're just waiting for these gentlemen to grid. You've got LP Lazier in the 72 machine. LP was a tough runner in our late model Challenger Series division. On the outside, another good driver that came out of late model Challenger Series division. That's the 7-car Luke Baldwin.
Caden Tufts in the 88 going to start third tonight on the outside of him. A guy who raced with the Challenger Series with us, the 99 of Cade Brown.
Just waiting for Cade to jump onto the grid. As you can see, cars waiting for him to show up to his, well, in the next row. That'll make it starting 5th position. That's the 81 machine of Rick Rube. And to his outside in that familiar 212, the green and black machine, that's Jonathan Sanford.
AJ Rogers in the 17, he'll start 7th tonight on the outside of him in that number 5 car. That's Sean Piet.
Blaze Brinkley, we saw his issues in that number 11 machine. He's going to roll off in the 9th position, and there he is in the 1 car. Didn't get a qualifying effort. We thought maybe, you said it, Jeff, thought maybe he would have a shot at the top spot, as he had been fast in last night's practice and fast in practice again tonight. That's Alex McCollum.
So Alex McCollum going to have to come from the back of the field here in this heat race, and the best he can start here is 11th tomorrow. So really important to not have to pass a lot of cars tomorrow. You're only going to have 1 set of tires, so you don't want to burn up a set trying to get track position. So the more cars he can pass now, the better it will be for him in the long run in tomorrow's race. And Bill, it's an important race. $250 to win, plus a championship tumbler courtesy of County Road Custom Millwork, and everybody in the top 10 is going to get paid. It's shaped up to be a pretty big event here, this IceBreaker 200.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can not get excited about $250 to the winner. That is a pretty amazing amount of money. And we are about to go green flag racing, Jeff, as the pace car has left the racetrack.
LP Lazier on the pole. He will have the 7 of Luke Baldwin on the outside of him. LP gets to set the pace here. He is off and away, bringing Caden Tufts with him. Tufts going to try to get into that 2nd spot early on.
And this race car, I drove it last night, Jeff. It is loose early on, and then it starts to tighten up as the super late model does. There's some battling in the back. Late join of this practice session. AJ Rogers in the 17 making moves.
Look at that. Alex McCollum jumped to the outside. He's going around Jonathan Sanford. Almost a little contact there, but he slots into that 5th spot ahead of Sanford now.
McCollum jumping all the way up into that 5th position. You can see him there, going to put pressure on Rick Rube in the 81 machine. Up front, LP Lazier setting sail as he's got a little bit of a gap over Luke Baldwin and Caden Tufts, as Tufts has passed Luke Baldwin for 2nd place.
Rick Rube shut the door there on Alex McCollum. McCollum tried to take a peek down the front straightaway. Rick said no, but here comes McCollum. He's got another charge down the back straightaway. Will he dive into 3? No, not quite yet.
These guys have 30 laps to get it done here in these heat races. You can see the front 3 have broken away from the 80-minute Rube. Here comes Alex McCollum to the inside entering turn 1. Looks inside, doesn't make the move on Rube. As Rube up the racetrack just a little bit, gives McCollum the door, but McCollum can't get off turn 2.
Yeah, you can see McCollum's car kind of slip off the corner there. Blaze Brinkley behind him. He's jumping to the outside of Sanford. Can he do the same thing that McCollum did? Can he go around the outside of Sanford here?
Blaze Brinkley looking. He's to the back bumper of the 212 of Jonathan Sanford. Almost makes contact with the green and black machine, but does not. Can't make the move. They'll slot in and go single file down the back straightaway.
McCollum now, he's going to jump to the outside of Rube, and look at that run. He's going to get off turn 4. He's going to pull door to door with Rube at the line. The battle for 4th. And Alex McCollum trying to find a way around this 81.
Alex McCollum doing it the hard way as he's taken to the high side, couldn't get it down to the bottom. Now he's up high and rubs the wall down the back straightaway. You saw the sparks off the number 1 machine. Got it really, really high off at turn 2 and actually got into the wall. Not a whole lot of damage on that car. He'll get around the 81 and Rick Rube going down the front straightaway.
McCollum clears them. Rube back into the 6th position, or 5th position now. Behind them, that really kind of stacked up the field. Sanford, Brinkley, AJ Rogers, they are all nose to tail now, right behind Rick Rube.
Single file racing throughout most of the field. The only car that seems to be having issues at the moment actually looks like John Piet. He's fallen off the back. Beautiful number 5 machine. As he is kind of just cruising around here. I believe, Jeff, every driver, because of the amount of drivers that ended up showing up tonight, everybody's going to make the A-main tomorrow night.
Yeah, our game plan was 30 cars for tomorrow night's event. We have 30 here with us tonight. Some entries that didn't make it to race with us tonight, so we appreciate the donation and help raise this purse to a pretty astounding level.
Yeah, close to $700 we got to for these drivers, so that's pretty amazing. These guys stay green, working lap 10. Caden Tufts into the outside wall. He's trying to put pressure on LP Lazier. That's a battle for your lead, but Caden got a little bit high off of turn 2, got on the outside wall, but didn't lose a whole lot of ground as he's still in the back bumper of the 72 machine.
Yeah, Tufts is starting to reel in LP a bit here on this long run, and thankfully for these guys, they're getting a chance to really see what the car will do, what it's going to feel like on a long run. This is valuable information that these guys are going to have that the top 10 qualifiers from last night are not going to have.
Blaze quickly in the 11 machine. Unfortunately, we documented his issues in qualifying. Had to start in the back of this field, rolling off 9th. He's going to make the move on Jonathan Sanford. That puts the 11 car up to 6th. Sanford shuts the door on AJ Rogers as they go down the back straightaway. He'll slot it at 7th.
Rogers is there. He's going to take a peek down into turn 1 underneath the 212. Sanford going to give him some space here on the inside line, and I think that's going to let AJ Rogers sneak on by into the 6th position.
Oh, and they make contact. Big contact down the back straightaway where Sanford basically stuck to the back stretch wall. Piet able to slot by in the 5. AJ Rogers, let's see what's going on. Oh, he's got big damage on the right side of that 17 machine as they made contact coming off of turn 2.
Now Luke Baldwin has company. He's going to get passed for 3rd here as McCollum dives underneath him into turn 3. The 1 car on the move from the rear of the field. He has now moved up into the 3rd spot.
Luke Baldwin goes way high in turn number 1 as he's going to just let McCollum go. A lot of these guys playing nice, Jeff, as they know this isn't the money race. Everybody's in. Let's just figure out what our cars are going to do. They're being really nice to each other. Not a lot of challenges happening. Guys not trying to stay side by side tomorrow night. That's when all that's going to happen.
Yeah, and we just passed the halfway point with LP Lazier out front. Caden Tufts trying to run him down, but they've got to be looking in the mirror and starting to see that 1 car starting to gain on them, and they've got to be getting a little worried here right now. We still got about half this race to go, and I think Alex is going to get there before it's over.
Yeah, Alex is on the move, and that number 1 machine had to start dead last in this race and is absolutely flying as he is making up all that ground. He's passed every car in the field so far, sans the first front 2. He's got about 12 to actually 13 laps to do it as 1 car trying to close in on the 88.
Jonathan Sanford and John Piet having a good battle here for the 8th position. Piet holding on the outside. He's been able to fend off Sanford. Sanford going to dive down to the inside once again in 1 and 2. Can Piet get that run off the back straightaway? He kind of tags the wall. That's going to slow his momentum.
That's the 3rd car we've seen. Oh, and Piet gives Sanford a little bit of a shot there going into turn 3, but we've seen 3 cars get off of turn 2 and rub that outside wall. You see the sparks from those machines. So those guys running out of room off of turn 2. It flattens out here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Flat racetrack all the way around, but as you come off of turn 2, it's just a little bit harder to keep that car off the wall.
So Sanford going to move back into that 8th position. Piet back to 9th. Cade Brown is on the racetrack in 10th, but he is 1 lap down. I think Cade missed the start, so he's just out there getting some track time right now. He's going to start on the last row, it looks like, tonight.
And Cade Brown in that 16 machine as he is... Something happened, wasn't able to make the call for the start, but he is out there now as he's got a new paint scheme we're not used to seeing in that 16 car.
And here comes McCollum. He dives to the inside of Caden Tufts. This is going to allow LP to maybe build a little bit of a gap between these two as they battle hard for the 2nd spot. But Tufts is up the racetrack, McCollum to the inside, and this is a race for 2nd place.
Alex McCollum dropping out, and there he is. He's back, and the 1 machine kind of dropped out of the server there for a moment. So he gets by the 88 of Caden Tufts. He's going to clear him for 2nd. Jeff, here he comes. 8 laps remaining as they hit the line. He's trying to get to LP Lazier, wants this heat race win.
Yeah, can he chase down LP Lazier? Lazier was able to stretch that lead out, and now Alex really starting to take some chunks out of it as he's dropped it down to about 0.3 of a second now.
Lazier in the 72 machine. Here comes Alex McCollum in the 1. Caden Tufts still there in the 88. And Luke Baldwin not that much farther behind these guys in the 7 machine as he's making his way forward. As you can see, he's gotten by Rick Room. He's in 4th position, but LP Lazier out front sees that number 1 machine looming large in the rearview mirror.
You can see Alex trying some different lines there, letting that car like slide up in the middle of the corner a little bit, trying to get a bigger run down the front straightaway, and it seems to be working. Alex has definitely got a different line than LP has at this moment.
I won't lie, last night when I was practicing with these guys, I watched Alex McCollum's line to see if I could get any faster. And it did help me a little bit, but I was nowhere near the speed that McCollum was able to put into that one machine. It's just unbelievable what he's able to do with a race car here in the iRacing service. And you see him get into the wall. That caused some damage on the right front. You can see it happen instantly. That right front buckled just a little bit. So LP Lazier likes to see that. He wants to see the one car keep beating on the right front of that machine.
Alex going to drive down to the inside. Can't quite get there as LP shuts the door in the center of the corner. And the 72 car trying to hold on. He sees Alex McCollum, a champion in the late model shootout series, charging to the front. But can LP hold him off here?
Only 3 laps remaining as LP's going to open the door. Here comes Alex McCollum to the bottom through 1 and 2. We've seen guys get off at turn 2 pretty well. Let's see if LP Lazier can do anything. He can't. Alex McCollum clears him for the lead going into turn 3.
LP is going to drop back in the line in front of Caden Tufts, and so LP back to second. Tufts is back there in third. These top 3 nose to tail, and 2 to go now for Alex McCollum, your new leader.
See if LP can rally whatsoever in that 72 machine. All the guys that are locked in. You see Alex McCollum sparking all the way down the back straightaway. He's got it right up against the wall in that one car. I don't know if that's perfection, Jeff, or it didn't seem to hurt his speed at all.
Well, the white flag is out for Alex McCollum in heat race number 1. McCollum out front, LP, Lazier, Caden Tufts, your top 3.
Down into turn 3, looking for the heat race win. It's the one machine going to bring it off at turn 4 and grab the first heat race win of the second annual IceBreaker 200. Alex McCollum first, LP Lazier second, Caden Tufts third.
And we actually lost Blaze Brinkley there at the end. Something happened to the 11, so he's going to fall all the way back to 9th. But Luke Baldwin, Rick Rube, AJ Rogers, your top 6 that will lock in their positions for tomorrow. Jonathan Sanford, John Piette, Blaze Brinkley, and Kate Brown will continue on. They have one more race coming up.
Yeah, those guys will go to the last chance qualifier, another opportunity for them to better their position. As we did have the expectation that we would have more cars than spots than we would get in the IceBreaker 200 tomorrow night, but we did not. We ended up with the exact amount we were looking to start, so that kind of works out for everybody. Race number 2 lining up on pit road.
On the pole for heat race number 2 will be the 07 of Kyle Martens, and a winner in the Challenger Series this past season. On the outside of him, another winner in the Challenger Series. Won our opening round at Hickory. That's Sean Hayes.
Inside row number 2 in the 72 machine. That is LP Lazier's teammate. That's Jeff Rivard. And to his outside, it's Super Zach, a Revelry Racing driver in the 08, Zach Honan.
Starting 5th tonight in the 30 car, that's Will Jervicki. On the outside of him, the 82, that is Shane Bedford.
Starting 7th in that 19 machine, that is Tom Scully. And to his outside in the 32, that's John Bajorquez.
Matt Nicholson will start 9th tonight in the number 10. On the outside of him, one of our race sponsors in the BSM and Brett Suggs on Twitch car. The 33, that's Brett Suggs.
So those are your 10 drivers about to roll to the green flag here in heat number 2 for the IceBreaker 200. We watched Alex McCollum run from the back to the front. I think Brett Suggs can do something like that in this race, Jeff. He was a winner in the late model shootout series at the end of the season.
Well, he's definitely going to have the speed for it, for sure. Brett Suggs very, very fast, and right now, Kyle Martinson going to set the pace here for heat race number 2. Takes this green flag racing. Bill, we went caution-free in that last one. Let's see if they can do it here again.
Yeah, that's the kind of racing we like to see.
Ooh, Matt Nicholson got together with Bajorquez, and Bajorquez got up the racetrack. Now Nicholson up the racetrack as well. They're going to fall behind the field a bit here early on.
A little bit of damage on both those machines as the rest of the field strung out. They're going to be nose to tail.
Brett Suggs going to be the first one to make a move. Dives underneath Shane Bedford for the 7th position. Suggs gets it, and he is off and away, chasing down Tom Scully now.
Scully in the number 19 machine. Suggs to the outside. Another outside attempt as he backs off of that. Does the crossover move through 3 and 4? So he's going to look to the inside of Scully as they enter turn 1.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice move there. Dove to the outside, but made the 19 keep that car pinned to the bottom, was able to get the run on exit. And now Brett Suggs has position on Tom Scully. He's going to take that spot, move him up to 6th.
Kyle Martin out front, getting away just a little bit from Jeff Rivard as he's got a nice little lead, about a 0.6 of a second lead here early in this race. Right behind them, you see Rivard, Sean Hayes, and Zach Onan in the 08 machine. Will Dravicki right there in the 30s. The top 5 are all pretty close.
Yeah, Kyle Martinson's trying to drive away, but right now it's about half a second over Jeff Rivard, and Rivard was a little bit quicker that last time by, and so he's bringing some fast cars with him. That's Sean Hayes and Zach Onan, Will Dravicki back there, and of course, you know that 33 car, Brett Suggs, he is on the charge right now in the 6th position and starting to reel in these top 5.
I imagine you are a fan of that Sean Hayes paint scheme, Jeff. That looks like one out of your playbook.
Yeah, I love it. That bright yellow car. You just got to love it. Can't miss it for sure.
I feel like I'm watching a Jeff By Jr. machine go around as we see that number 1 look to the outside. That's a Honda Accord as well. Sean Hayes with a neat paint scheme this week. He's got a Honda Accord graphic on the front and the rear. He's going to look to try to pass that 72 machine. He's got putting a whole lot of pressure on Jeff Rivard.
Yeah, Rivard trying to keep that car pinned on the inside line. That's a little bit different of a car, too. It's not your normal Toyota Camry. That is a Supra there in the 72. They got up the racetrack a bit, and Sean Hayes starting to really put the pressure on him. Behind them, here comes Will Dravicki underneath Zach Onan. This is the battle for 4th.
Dravicki looking to make the move on Zach Onan. Brett Suggs looking on in the 33. Dravicki and Onan going to be side by side off the 4. Who's going to have the advantage? Onan might have scraped the wall there as he lost some ground going down the front straightaway. That's going to bring Brett Suggs into the picture, and Suggs is going to take the 5th spot away from Onan.
Yeah, that moves Zach Onan back to the 6th position. Lost a couple spots there as Will Dravicki was able to get around them, and Brett Suggs just followed right through.
Kyle Martinson making, it's easy for me to say, making this one a snoozer in that 07 machine. We've seen him do this before as he's won some races in that late model Challenger series. But Martinson, when he gets out front, he's a tough guy to catch and a tough guy to pass.
Yeah, and right now I think that pressure that Sean Hayes is putting on Jeff Rivard has actually slowed those two guys down. I think Rivard has had to go a little bit more defensive here, and he's starting to lose touch with Kyle Martinson. So Martinson's going to love to see these two battle hard behind him. That's going to allow him to stretch this lead. And now here comes Brett Suggs underneath Will Dravicki. Dravicki up the racetrack. Can Zach Onan get there, maybe get the spot back? And I think Dravicki's going to shut the door into turn 1.
Dravicki shuts the door on Zach Onan. Onan not able to make the move. They're going to be nose to tail coming off of turn 2 up front. Sean Hayes not able to put pressure on Jeff Rivard. Is at that moment, as I say it, he gets right to the back bumper, but swashes out a little bit coming off of turn 4. Rivard taking a little bit of a different line as they came through turn 4. And now Sean Hayes on the back bumper in 1 and 2.
Yeah, and I think Hayes really starting to put the pressure on Jeff Rivard. They've actually started to close the gap to Kyle Martinson now. And Rivard doing something a little different. He's running up the racetrack a little bit more, and it seems to be working. They have taken a bit of that lead away from Martinson, but now he left the door open a little too much, I think, and that let Sean Hayes kind of shove that car down into there in turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, he shoved it in there hard, almost made contact with the left rear of the 72 machine. Did not, so there was no harm, no foul. Now Sean Hayes going to pick up the challenge once again as he is trying to get to that 2nd position. Every position you pass, or every person you pass in this race, is a position you're going to start farther up in the Icebreaker 200 tomorrow night with the big money on the line. You want to make as many passes tonight as you possibly can.
Well, Kyle Martinson still out about half a second as he's going to see the halfway this time and start the 2nd half of this race. Still caution free here in the heat races. Rivard once again took about 1/10 of a second out of Kyle Martinson's lead that time by. So Rivard looks like he might be one of the faster cars on the racetrack, but can he chase down Kyle Martinson?
Rivard making it happen in that 72. It looks like he's starting to get away from Sean Hayes just a little bit as we are 17 laps into this 2nd heat race for the Icebreaker 200. So you see the top 6, other than Kyle Martinson being out in front just a little bit over Jeff Rivard, but you got the top 6 all nose to tail. That is Jeff Rivard, Sean Hayes, Brett Suggs, Will Dravicki, and Zach Onan. They're all right there. Throw a blanket over them as you can see that they're all on the same straightaway and all looking to gain positions on each other. As you see Sean Hayes picking up the battle once again as he's right back to the 72 Jeff Rivard.
Yeah, and this is allowing Brett Suggs to gain on them as well. Suggs starting to reel this group in. Can he get there? Can he do what Alex McCollum did and come from the back to win this heat race? It's going to be difficult without a caution, but right now Kyle Martenson looks in command of it with about 0.6 of a second out on Jeff Rivard now.
Nose to tail, your front group. Well, it's going to be fun when we put all these guys together tomorrow night, Jeff. These guys are doing a great job getting around in these heat races. 10 cars per heat race, 30 laps to see if they can gain any positions possible. As you see, Sean Hayes issues in the one machine as he's going to let Brett Suggs go. That was interesting. Just kind of pulled over and let the 33 machine by. I wonder if those guys, I'm not sure if they're friends. I would imagine possibly. As Sean Hayes just let him go by.
I think that's teammates.
That would make sense then. And now
yeah.
Hayes, more issues in the one.
Yeah, that did not work out for Hayes there. He gets into the wall. He's going to lose a spot to Wilder Vicky. So this is going to really hurt his momentum. If he was trying to plan to follow Brett Suggs through, Suggs is now way ahead of him.
Hayes going to look underneath Wilder Vicky coming up turn 4, not able to make the move. He's going to have a little bit of momentum going down into turn 1. Dravicki slings it in there in the 30 machine. He's kind of up the racetrack as Hayes going to look to the bottom, doesn't make the move, and Hayes gets a little loose off of turn 2. Here comes Zach Onan.
Yeah, Onan is there now as well and running in the 6th position. Hayes fell all the way back to 5th after that contact with the front straightaway wall. Lost that spot to Wilder Vicky. But back up front, it looks like Jeff Rivard is starting to really put the pressure on Kyle Martenson. He has chopped that lead in half, and he is starting to get to the back bumper. Kyle Martenson, as time is ticking away.
Wow, just about 6 laps remaining in this race, and here comes Jeff Rivard. I don't know if you can save tires in a 30-lap race, but it certainly looks like the 72 machine was pacing himself as he is right there in Kyle Martenson. Don't look now, but here comes Brett Suggs, another one of those drivers. We talked about it. We saw McCollum do it in the last race, go from the back to the front. Here comes Suggs trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, Suggs is charging hard as well, and he's starting to reel these two in. And if they start getting side by side and battling, that's just going to allow him to close the gap quicker and quicker. But right now, Kyle Martenson trying to hold on. He has led every lap of this heat race, but Jeff Rivard is right there.
Jeff Rivard looking to see if he can do anything with Kyle Martenson as we hit. Looks like 5 to go. Rivard just a little bit lower on the racetrack than the 07 machine. Kyle Martenson up the track about a half a car width. You can see Brett Suggs in that 33 slinging it down into turn 3, trying to make up some ground.
Yes, Suggs is there as well, so the top 3 under a blanket now.
Great battle for your second heat race win as Kyle Martenson is led from the green flag. Jeff Rivard getting sideways off of turn 2. That's going to give Brett Suggs an opportunity as he's going to be to the back bumper. The 72 machine gives him a little shot. It might have helped him turn in the center. It looks like Jeff Rivard had a pretty good corner.
Well, they're going to see 2 to go this time for Kyle Martenson. Martenson out front, Rivard in 2nd, Brett Suggs in 3rd. And Martenson has led every single lap. Can he just lead 2 more?
Well, it's going to be a tough chore as you see Matt Nicholson in that damage number 10 car from the opening lap incident that he had instantly hit the white flag. Here's Kyle Martenson trying to get through 1 and 2 as the 2 guys behind them looking for everything they can possibly get. See if they get a good run off the corner.
Kyle Martenson out front. It looks like he's going to hold on to this one. He's got a big challenge, though, from Rivard and Brett Suggs. But Kyle Martenson going to win heat race number 2. Move on to tomorrow night's feature event. Jeff Rivard, Brett Suggs, Wilder Vicky, Sean Hayes, and Zach Onan have secured their positions for tomorrow night.
The rest of your drivers going to tonight's last chance qualifier. Tom Scully, Shane Bedford, John Bojorquez, and Matt Nicholson in that 10 car. This boy, oh boy, Jeff, flag to flag in both heat races. I bet you wouldn't have predicted that one. So Jeff doing a little bit of race control as these guys will get a 2-minute warm-up session. The guys that are left in this race, the guys that have to run this last chance qualifier. It is a 50-lap last chance qualifier for these guys to get an opportunity to see what they can do with their race cars. And see if they can get a little bit more speed and if they can pick up some spots. Like I said, every spot that you pass in any of these races is a spot you do not have to pass tomorrow night in the IceBreaker 200. It's over $600 on the line. You're trying to get to the front no matter how you can, so we should see some excitement in the final race of the evening. 50 laps coming up in just about one and a half minutes.
Yeah, just a final little warm-up session for these drivers to see what the track is doing. And Bill, looks like we're going to have an 8-car LCQ, but everybody's going to move on. So I think you know what that means. We get to bring out one of our favorite phrases from the late model shootout series. It's our slow dash.
We hate to even say it, but it's what it becomes. The guys that just are not quite, I wouldn't even say up to speed. It's just some of them had issues, and we'll see what happens here in this last chance qualifier / slow dash. But these guys, it's a good opportunity for them to get out in race conditions and actually race some race cars, around them to see what they can do with the setup and see if they can learn anything. This is always a challenge to get around the Myrtle Beach Speedway. That's why we run here. That's kind of why I like it. It's a tough place to go.
Yeah, and we see so much drivers really focusing on their qualifying laps in practice, and so this is kind of a way that it really kind of makes everybody have to focus on their race trim here. This 50 lapper, you're gonna get a really good idea of how hard you can push those tires and how much abuse you might put on them, and so it'll be interesting to see tomorrow night if any of these guys here in this group of 8 that are going to run this 50 lapper, if they're able to maybe find something tomorrow and save tires a little bit better than anybody else.
Lots to be learned here for these 8 drivers going to run this last event of the night. All of these drivers will transfer into tomorrow night's A main. However, they're going to do their best to put the moves on the guys in front of them, so they can possibly get to the front and not have to pass them tomorrow night. So again, this 50 lap race will be limited to 30. I believe it's 30 minutes. So if they don't finish it within the 30-minute allotted time limit, they will be done at that time. But with the way that they raced in the heat races, hopefully we just breeze through this one as we went flag to flag in both heat races. All the drivers doing a fantastic job. Money's not on the line tonight, just your starting position. So you got 200 laps to make it happen tomorrow night. Should be a different story.
Yeah, and Bill, I think it takes a little bit of the pressure off as well, not having anybody not transfer out of this LCQ. We said we'd start 30. We had exactly 30 show up tonight to qualify for tomorrow, and these are the 30 that'll make it. So these guys, pressure is off a little bit here. Now this is more of a test session and bragging rights, and I think there's probably going to be a little bit of a battle here for this win, because we've got some guys in this group that have never won an ITZR race, and this might be their time right here.
Yeah, starting on your pole, the 212 of Jonathan Sanford to his outside in that 19 machine. That's Tom Scully. Second row, you'll find the 5 of John Piet to his outside. That is the 82 of Shane Bedford. Starting in the third row inside, 5th position, that's the 11 of Blaze Brinkley. Had an issue in his heat race. John Borges in the 032 machine. Cade Brown in that number 16, and starting shotgun on the field, that is the 10 car, Matt Nicholson.
This should be a fun race here. The guy I'm going to be watching here is Cade Brown. We know he's got a ton of speed, and Blaze Brinkley as well. Those are 2 guys that were very, very quick and had a little trouble there in the heat races. So I expect to see them coming through the field a bit here. Pace car is off. Jonathan Sanford gets to control this start. Tom Scully on the outside, and we are off and racing here in this final LCQ.
Jonathan Sanford, Tom Scully going to be side by side entering turn 1. Scully way up the racetrack trying to get some momentum in that 19 machine, and he'll do it as he'll take the lead down the back straightaway. Sanford going to slot into second, and a battle for third is Piet down on the bottom. It's Shane Bedford on the high side.
Yeah, Bedford doing the same thing he saw McCollum do in his heat race, jumps to the outside, and now they're going to be 3 wide in a turn 1. Let's see who gives. Brinkley actually backed out of it there on the inside. That allows John Piet to hold on to third for the time being.
Yeah, when I see 3 wide going into turn 1 here at this racetrack, I just kind of close my eyes, hold my breath, and hope. Blaze Brinkley thought better of it, backed off. Shane Bedford going to slip back a little bit in that 82 machine. Is Brinkley going to look to the inside of John Piet? That's going to be a battle for the third position.
Yeah, unfortunately, the outside did not work out for Shane Bedford. He lost a spot to Cade Brown as well. He's going to fall all the way back to the 6th position now. Piet holding on to third, but here comes Brinkley now. He's got the momentum up the inside, has taken away the inside line from Piet. Piet in the 5 on the outside. Brinkley going to go by into third. Can Cade Brown get there? No, Piet's going to get back down the racetrack. Now he kind of dove up the racetrack again on exit, and he's at risk of losing another spot.
Yeah, it looked like there might have been some contact between Piet and Blaze Brinkley down the back straightaway, and maybe just a little bit more in turns 3 and 4 as Piet went up the racetrack. Cade Brown's going to make the move in the 16 machine. Here comes Shane Bedford as he's rallying again, once again, the 82, as he has to slam the brakes. And the car walks up the racetrack on Shane Bedford. You can see John Bajorquez now in the 032 machine going to make a move.
Yeah, Bajorquez was able to take advantage of that situation as Bedford locked up the brakes, I think, and got up the racetrack, and now they are battling hard for the 6th position. Bajorquez had it last time by. Bedford still trying to hold on the outside, and now it looks like he's going to slot back in line.
Now Bedford going to look to the inside as he has to get on the brakes once again. You can see that car moved up the racetrack when he got on the brakes. That's kind of dangerous if you get inside of somebody, hit the brakes pretty hard, you end up going up straight, might get in the left rear of somebody.
Yeah, we know some of these guys like to start with the brake bias way far forward and then move it back as the run goes on, and I think that just might be a situation there where Shane just got so much forward brake in that thing, and every time he gets on the binders hard, it just locks the front brakes up, and that car shoots up the racetrack.
Up front, Tom Scully continuing to lead this race. Here comes Jonathan Sanford in the 212 as he's going to look to the inside entering turn 1. Can't make the move, but he is right there on the back bumper. Blaze Brinkley in the 11 machine, he's there as well. And here comes Cade Brown in the 16. Top 4, throw a blanket over him.
Yeah, this pack is starting to close up, isn't it? Tom Scully out front. He's got Sanford with him. But here comes Brinkley. Here comes Cade Brown. We talked about him earlier. They were going to have a lot of speed. Just had some bad luck in their heat races. And now they are starting to move forward here in this LCQ. And they've got plenty of time. Still 40 laps to go here in this LCQ.
These drivers putting on a show here in the super late models here. Now what we call our slow dash, Jeff, as these guys are into the main event, but they get an opportunity to run 50 laps and see what these cars feel like over the course of that run. You can see they're having a pretty good time right now as these top 4 nose to tail.
Tom Scully got up the racetrack, almost got the wall off turn 4. That was an interesting line, and he is really opening up those corners right now, letting that car roll around the racetrack.
Scully trying to make it happen in that 19 machine. Jonathan Sanford right there, Blaze Brinkley right there. Here comes Cade Brown in the 16, and Scully. You're right, Jeff. He's got an interesting line, and now Sanford going to take an odd line into turn 1. He's going to walk up the racetrack in the 212.
Brinkley going to take advantage of that as Sanford got up the racetrack. Now Sanford trying to get back down, but not going to be quick enough. There is Blaze Brinkley up the inside of the 11, going to take over the 2nd spot, and that's going to open up the door for Cade Brown as well in that 16 car. Brown is there, and he's going to try to move back into 3rd.
So Jonathan Sanford had an odd line in a turn 1. We saw it. We saw him get up the racetrack, and he loses 2 spots as a result. So here comes Blaze Brinkley and Cade Brown. They are now under the bumper of Scully. Well, he's going to get a lot of pressure from Brinkley in that 11 machine. As you can see, Scully's still taking that odd line into turn 1 as he goes low, moves up the racetrack, and now gets a nice run down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Brinkley showing a lot of speed, a lot of pace. Ooh, he's going to get in the back of Scully there in the middle of 3 and 4. Scully able to hold on, but I think Brinkley just let him know he's there.
Yeah, that was an interesting shot. 15 laps in this race. Patience is already run out, apparently, as he wants to go. And now Scully going to go up the racetrack in turn 1. Blaze Brinkley to the inside. There's going to be a pass for your lead. Here comes Cade Brown in the 16 machine. Can he make the move for 2nd? As he wants to keep pace with the 11 car.
Yeah, Brown is going to need to get around Scully quickly so that he doesn't have to chase down this 11. He's been following him through the field here for quite a while. He does not want to lose touch with Brinkley. I think these are going to be the 2 guys to beat here in this LCQ.
Yeah, I think you called it early in the race. Actually, while we were on the grid, you expected these 2 guys to have the speed and move out front. They have. Blaze Brinkley leading this race. Cade Brown 2nd. Scully dropped back to 3rd as we've seen some speed out of that 19 machine. He's going to get the turtles through 1 and 2. Sideways off of turn 2. Holy cow, what a drift.
That was a big save down the back straightaway. He held on to it, and we know the super late model, it does not like when you slide the right rear tire. So I think he's going to have a bit of a handful here for a couple laps. Let that tire cool down. He might need to alter his line a bit here as well to cool that tire down.
Yeah, it is well documented. This car does not like when you do that, so Honestly, Jeff, I think he's doing a pretty good job in the 19 machine. I haven't seen that car walk away from him at all again. So maybe spun the right rear, but wasn't such a bad thing as he's getting around the racetrack in the 19.
Yeah, it was a fantastic save nonetheless, and so far we still haven't seen a caution tonight. So we were underway here, lap 20 of this 50-lap LCQ, and still caution-free thanks to Tom Scully's big save there.
John Piet in the 5 machine able to make his way around some drivers a little farther back. John Bajorquez and Shane Bedford. Piet all the way up to the 5th position in the 5 car, so he's been making moves as well. You see just a little bit farther up in front of him, Sanford's still there with Tom Scully, and the front 2 have kind of checked out on the rest of the field. So those guys have gotten a little bit of a gap over everyone else.
Matt Nicholson still out there on the racetrack in 8th, still plugging away. He kind of fell back behind the field a bit. He's about 9 seconds behind our leader, but still out on the racetrack making laps there in that number 10.
And Matt doing everything he can to improve Stinger Motorsports driver in that 10 car. He's out there circulating, gaining laps, gaining seat time, trying to find just a little bit more speed. He's not that far off. He just needs to get a couple more tenths per lap and get right in with these guys.
A lot of these guys in our field, regulars in our Challenger Series. We saw Brinkley a lot, and Cade Brown ran a full season. Actually qualified for the late model shootout series about midway through the season last year, and he's shown a lot of speed. And these guys just a lot of drivers in this group that are just kind of learning a bit and starting to work their way up through the super late model ranks. And a lot of them have had quite a bit of success early on.
If you've never driven a super late model on iRacing, it is probably the hardest oval car to drive. Maybe the sprint car, Jeff. The pavement sprint car is tougher.
Yeah, that car is just a whole different animal. Especially, I think it's on a much older tire model as well. So really hard to even compare them. I feel like the sprint car is almost kind of a forgotten a car on iRacing at this point.
Yeah, the super late model is difficult. It can get away from you at any point, any time. And these guys make it look easy here in the iRacing services. There's a bit of a battle for that 3rd position. Tom Scully getting a challenge from the 212 and Jonathan Sanford. So they're going to enter turn 1 nose to tail. Looks like Sanford doesn't want to get too close to Scully to make sure. You see Scully getting loose off of turn 2 as he might be struggling once again, Jeff. That right rear tire looked like it's getting a little bit unhappy.
Yeah, I noticed also the rear brakes are glowing a little bit on Scully's car. And that's maybe a sign that he's got a lot of rear brake in that car and trying to loosen it up. And maybe he's gone just a little bit too much on that. Maybe just a little too much rear brake. Now when he enters the corner, he's sliding the rear tires and maybe just making that car a little upset.
Yeah, that'll help you on entry when you're on the brakes. It'll get the car to rotate entering. But if you get it to rotate just a little bit too much, you might get a little loose off the corners. You see Scully up into the wall on the back straightaway. Make that wall ride number 4 that we've seen, Jeff. I've called that out 4 times, I think, again tonight. Again, not a whole lot of damage on the right side of that 19 machine.
We talk about the brake bias so much as well because that's really the only adjustment that these guys get as far as setup goes. This is a fixed setup race here, the IceBreaker 200. Tomorrow night, 200 laps. They'll have 1 extra set of tires, but fixed setup. The only thing they can adjust is brake bias and a steering offset, which is basically take the steering wheel off of and rotate it a little bit, and you won't have to turn as much steering wheel into it. And that's the only adjustment they have.
And the setup provided to us by Shock I-12 Racing. That is our provider here at In the Zone Racing. Shock I-12 doing a great job for us as he's actually the setup builder for, I believe it's Ryan Kuhn Motorsports, Jeff, as he's doing A-car stuff for them and some NASCAR stuff over there.
Yeah, we appreciate Kent, still doing this with us. And when he signed up to build the setups for us, we didn't know how long it would last. So, and Scully sideways down the front straightaway, he saves it. And Scully going to continue on. We are still green flag racing. He's going to lose that spot to Jonathan Sanford.
So Scully slips back to 4th position. John Piet's got his eyes on the 19 machine if he wants to get up there and battle for that 4th spot. As he's trying to make some moves and trying to get forward. Shane Bedford pulling into the pits in the 82 car. Looks like he's loaded her on the trailer. So Shane Bedford done for the evening. Matt Nicholson also, I don't see him on the racetrack in that 10 car.
Yeah, Matt made a move down pit road as the leaders were catching him, decided to just get out of the way, get off the racetrack rather than go a lap down, and so he has hit pit road as well. So we lost 2 cars there on that on that lap, and here on lap 36, we are still underway with Blaze Brinkley out front. Cade Brown trying to reel him in. It's about half a second, almost half a second back to Cade Brown in the second spot.
And these guys have certainly checked out from the rest of the field. As you can see, there's about a 2.1 second gap between Cade Brown in second and Jonathan Sanford in third. And then a little bit of a gap behind him to Tom Scully, with John Piet there in fifth. And then just a little farther back from them, you got John Bohorquez. Looks like Matt Nicholson wanted to take it into the pits and get some repairs on that 10 machine, as he's going to bounce it across the turtles. Those things are dangerous over there in 1 and 2. But the 10 car making his way back out on the racetrack.
Yeah, if you've ever driven Myrtle Beach on iRacing, those bumps there on the inside, they can really upset the race car. You definitely want to keep it off of that. The inside line, the fast way around here, but it does flatten out. It is very, very flat. This track rather, kind of progressively banked. You get a little bit more banking the further up the racetrack you go.
I love that you call those down on the inside of 1 and 2 bumps. Those are cannon shots down there. You get down, they will blow your left front right off. Those things will damage a race car very quickly. Clearly, the person that built Myrtle Beach, unfortunately, it's no longer there, but the person that built it really didn't want you to get down to the bottom of 1 and 2. Because you could have put rumble strips or anything down there that would have kept drivers away from it. But those things, boy, they will bounce your car all over the place and wreck your race car.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to go to Myrtle Beach before it closed down, and it was a pretty cool, fantastic racetrack. I remember going there, I think it was like a Wednesday night, and they had almost 30 late models there for a race, and just a really cool racetrack, historic racetrack. I believe the NASCAR Busch Series even ran races here, and really, really kind of neat racetrack. Huge. It looks so small on iRacing. In real life, it was a big racetrack.
Speedway no longer operational, as they've torn up most of the racetrack, Jeff. And I read this week that the development actually fell through, so now it's just going to sit for a while.
Yeah, that tends to happen, doesn't it? I remember they did the exact same thing to Mesa Marin and decided they were going to build homes there, tore the racetrack down, and then decided that, the economy's not good enough to sell homes here, so we just canceled that.
There are parts of the racetrack still there. You can go see the backstretch wall. I think there's a couple parts of the corners still there. They didn't get done tearing it up by the time the development contract fell through. Unfortunately, the racetrack met its doom and didn't need to, but that's how it works. So we're about to get 6 to go. Blaze Brinkley pulling away from Cade Brown, as Cade Brown has now slipped to about 7.5 tenths of a second back. Not able to keep up with that 11 car. Jeff, you called it before the race. These 2 guys, the fastest guys in the racetrack, and Blaze Brinkley putting on a show.
Yeah, Blaze out front trying to run away from Cade Brown. He's starting to build that gap here as time is ticking away here. About 4 laps to go now when they cross the line, and Blaze Brinkley seems to be in control of this LCQ.
And that should give him about, what would it be, the 21st starting position tomorrow night for the Icebreaker 200. Cade Brown, and where he runs, would start 22nd. Sanford would start 23rd, Scully 24th, and Piet 25th, as they're going to try to run into the top 10. You're paying throughout the top 10. You want to get a top 10 spot. You get at least your money back, your entry fee. And if you make it in the top 2, boy, there are some nice paydays in the top 2. And even in the third position, I believe, pays $85. So definitely want to get towards the front.
Yeah, big money on the line tomorrow night. It's going to be a ton of fun. We can't wait to watch that one with you. We'll be live on Facebook as well at the same time, and you can find us on Twitch. You can find us on YouTube, however you want to watch. And tomorrow night,
our webpage.
Yeah, on our website itself, you can find us. We're gonna have a ton of fun tomorrow night. 200 laps. Some of the best short track racers on iRacing. There are some heavy hitters in tomorrow night's field. It is gonna be a ton of fun. But right now, Blaze Brinkley, he's gonna come off the turn 4, see the white flag one more time by, and he's on his way to pick up his first ITZR win.
So Brinkley just cruising through 1 and 2. You see Cade Brown right there, not able to put any pressure on the number 11 machine. Brown not able to catch the 11 as he looks into turn 3.
Blaze Brinkley going to come off turn 4. He's going to pick up a win here in the LCQ. He's moving on to tomorrow night's Icebreaker 200. Cade Brown, Jonathan Sanford going to pick up a third-place finish. Tom Scully, he's going to spin her across the line. And let's see if he holds on to 4th. I think, no, John Piette going to pick up 4th there. Tom Scully going to fall back to 5th as he spun that car off the corner. John Bajorquez is going to be 6th. Matt Nicholson still out on the racetrack. He's going to finish 7th. Shane Bedford called this one early. Looks like he was having some steering wheel issues. So Shane going to be out in 8th place, but they will all be back tomorrow night. We're going to have 30 cars to start tomorrow night's ITZR Icebreaker 200 presented by SD Ireland Cancer Research Fund.
So we're going to take a look at what happened to Tom Scully off of turn 4 here at the flag. Just gets her sideways. And wow, that was very close between John Piette and Tom Scully there at the end. You can see you can see Piette just sneaks by, gets to the flag stand before the 19 machine and picks up the extra position. So that will actually put Piette starting in the 24th spot instead of the 25th spot. And Jeff, I don't know, maybe Scully wanted to be on the bottom. Now he gets to start 25th.
Yeah, I was actually cracking up. That was our first chance we got to see the TJ Chummy Esports replay of the night.
There we go. Yeah.
Our replay sponsor, I bet they didn't expect we were going to go caution free for 3 races tonight.
Yeah, unfortunate for that. Right? So we are done with night number 1 of the Icebreaker 200 here at In the Zone Racing, brought to you by SD Ireland Cancer Research Fund. We will be back tomorrow night, Jeff. I believe the broadcast will kick off at just about the same time at 8:30 p.m. as our race. These guys will have about an hour practice starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and then the race will be set to go at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, as we will look to go 200 laps for the big dollars. Like Jeff said, big hitters tomorrow night. And all these guys that you just saw tonight racing did a great job, so we look forward to tomorrow night. Jeff, what do you think? What do you think we'll see tomorrow?
The way the setup looks and the way the racetrack is racing with it, I think we're going to see a lot of comers and goers. From what we saw in those long runs, it looks like saving tires might be an issue, and they will have one set of tires, so that's going to open up some strategy. 200 laps, it's a long race, but if you got to make a pit stop, that can really be a factor when you make that pit stop, when you're going to take those tires. That could be really important deciding factor in who ends up taking home $250 and a championship tumbler courtesy of County Road Custom Millwork. I think it's going to be anybody's race. I think we've got about 12, 13 guys that are real serious contenders to take home this win.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had some guys transferring out of the heat races. Alex McCollum, your first heat race winner, ran right from the back to the front. You got Brett Suggs that was moved through the field in the second heat race. Those guys going to have to start outside the top 10 as the top 10 were locked in. You got guys in the top 10 that are extremely fast guys. Landon Huffman in the field. You've got just unbelievably good drivers. Dalton Collins making his way back. Trayton Lapsovich. He's going to be in the race. Max Cookson. I mean, it's crazy. The name Thomas Axum. I mean, our late model shootout series champion is in the field. Your quick time. He's going to be rolling off from the pole as there is no invert. It's going to be super hard. We've seen him do that before, Jeff. It's going to be super hard to beat him from the pole.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting, and it's going to take a little bit of strategy. I think you're going to have to be fast. You're going to have the speed, but you're going to have to make the right moves. You're going to have to pit at the right time, and especially if these races go green like we saw. When do you pit? I mean, you don't want to come down pit road under green here, so. It's definitely going to be an interesting race tomorrow night. I can't wait. We have 30 of the best sim racers on iRacing, these short track guys, to do battle tomorrow night. You're not going to want to miss it. Follow along on our Facebook page as well, because we're going to be posting updates throughout our practice as we did tonight, and you'll see who's fastest in practice before we get going.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, Jeff. So if you're good, I'm good, and I think we'll see most of the people here tomorrow night. Not the drivers, but also the fans. As the grandstands were packed tonight, Jeff. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow night.
Yeah, we will see you guys there.